Welcome to Prague, another World Cup stage in Boulder. When it comes to competitions, I like climbing for the crowd. And what can be better than climbing in the front of the home crowd? I have some great memories from the last year's edition. I got silver medal, and you know, those are the moments which I don't think I will ever forget. So I'm really excited what this year's edition will bring. So the qualification round is over. I got 4 tops and I am really happy with my climbing. I mean, sometimes that's the way it goes. I think I was lucky with the order of the boulder rounds, as I felt pretty strong in my warm-up, and as I went out, I did not really think about, I don't know, failure at the Olympics. I just wanted to climb my best and hopefully also enjoy. And as soon as I saw the first boulder round, I thought like, wow, this is really good, because it was basically a rock climbing boulder round. It was nothing like jumpy. It was about just getting into the static body positions and trying hard on bad holds. And at the same time, I knew that it's quite hard because the guys just before me couldn't really finish it. So I topped it. That was the first try, and that really got me into pretty good self-confidence. And then obviously the boulder round number 2 was a crack. It was a fifth jam, and I knew like I couldn't fail. It felt pretty chill. Yes. Having 2 tops going into the boulder round number 3 was amazing. Boulder round number 3 was hard for me. I think it was quite a bit harder if you are taller, and I knew it did with some kind of toe hooking action. I think I couldn't really read it properly on the first few tries, but then I knew that the beta is like this, and I really had to commit and do it on that try.
Pojďme Adama podpořit, pomoct mu. Perfektně založená parta. To, co Adamovi sedí.
I just barely did it, but that was obviously very good motivational boost. And knowing that the boulder round number 4 was an easier one. Maybe not 100% my style, but I was really happy that I could flash it. And then on boulder round number 5, I knew it was really hard. It wasn't topped. I think I was quite close to getting to the zone, but in the end, really happy how it worked out, because if I got the zone or if I got the top on the last one, I would be maybe going as the very last one in the semifinals, and that's usually not really the best for the mind, especially in the front of the home ground. So I think tomorrow I'll be like somewhere in the middle of the field, and I think that's the strategically really good position to be in.
is the isolation zone. Normally, you're not allowed to film here because it's pretty strict that only athletes, coaches, and physios are allowed to enter here during the real isolation zone times. But we arrived a couple of hours earlier, so I can show you what it actually can look like. So the most important part is the warm-up wall. I think most of the athletes start warming up 2 hours before it's their turn. And I think this warm-up wall is pretty good. Like, it has a really nice selection of holds. It has different angles. Especially, I think, for the vertical and slabby part, I think it's pretty good. And that's actually quite rare to get a real good warm-up for the vertical and technical climbs. It looks pretty big, but you can also imagine, as we are 80 or 100 competitors for the qualifier round, it can actually get pretty packed. Then it gets much more chilled for the semis and especially for the finals, since we are only 6 athletes here. I think everybody has a slightly different strategies for the warm-up. I think I definitely see quite a lot of climbers like warming up a lot. Because it's actually amazing, you know, you have all the best athletes in the world on like decent wall, and it's just so tempting and contagious to like have a session with them. But you know, it's really good to have at the back of my mind that, you know, the real competition is not happening here, but is happening on the competition wall. So you only want to warm up just perfect for the competition, but you don't want to get too tired, and you really have to be tactical about the skin, because that's really important, especially for the bouldering comps.
Altitude climbing is a platform where I made my lead climbing course this year. If you missed it, check it out. But those guys, they just keep working, they keep delivering, and now they made a new course with Hazel Findlay, how to overcome the fear of falling. In my own course, I think we touched a few times this topic, but I don't really feel like the best person to tell you how to overcome the fear of falling. But Hazel is the best person. She is such a bold climber. She's helped thousands of climbers successfully how to not only overcome the fear, but also enjoy the falling itself. Go online, go to altitudeclimbing.com/Adam and get a free assessment on how fear actually impacts your climbing. And once you get the assessment, you'll also get a sneak peek into the Hazel's course.
Jak se sluší a patří.
I mean, what a round. I think I climbed really well, and without that much pressure on the number 1 and 2. I think after quite a bit of time I was going out into the bouldering round with like really a lot of psych and not that much pressure. And then going out into number 3, I knew I had to give it all, and it was super physical boulder round like this. There was a hard campus move off like a blocked crimp without feet going into the zone, and I knew that that's gonna be hard. I think I was quite close to Sikini, but my left foot just kept slipping, and at that moment, yeah, I was disappointed, and I thought like maybe my chances for making it to the finals are over, especially considering when I saw what the number 4 was about. So let's say making it into the zone hold, it was this like pressing over sideways jump, which is, I think it's a move I was never ever able to do, but it's pretty often that there is a way around it if when they set a move like this. And that's exactly what I did. It was this really cool, like super hard pressing undercling traverse with the smearing feet. And when I made it, I thought like, yeah, I have to make it to the top, but it was this 2 glassy shoulder holds. For those, you really have to spit on your fingers, which is exactly what I did on my second last try, but I think not enough. So when I went into the shoulder moves, for some coincidence, I just like, my fingers kind of got blocked and I just barely didn't do it and fell, and I had like 45 seconds to go. But I think that actually decided in my favor, because on my last try I made it up there again. I spit on my fingers even more. And I got into the shoulder moves and it felt like so sticky, and I was pretty confident I was gonna do it. And maybe, you know, if my fingers didn't get stuck in the second last move, I would fall off going into the top, and then I would have just like 5 seconds less to give it another try. So it was just like a bizarre coincidence of everything. So it feels really good to be in the finals in the front of my home crowd, and can't wait for the evening.
Světový šampion Boulderu, trojnásobný mistr světa v lezení na obtížnost, víc než 2 desítky vítězných světových pohárů, lezec, kterého respektuje doslova a do písmene celý sportovní svět, za Českou republiku Ondra!
last place in the finals, but I'm really happy. And I think the top that I really owed to this amazing crowd that finally happened on the last bowl round was really good. But the finals didn't really start in the most fun way. You know, there was this move which was exactly the same as the move where my left shoulder injury happened 3 months ago in Budapest, and since then I've been struggling with it a little bit.
It was great to be in the final. It was a pretty strange finals. I thought there was no chance I would be on the podium, but the crowd was incredible, and the atmosphere was really, really nice. So I was happy I was able to come out for Boulder 4 and just pull it out of the bag and get that top, because I messed my skin up. I wasn't feeling so good, but managed to keep it together.
Final boulders was so complicated, yeah, but it was so funny for me. So I did my best, and I was happy to compete with other strong guys. Also Adam, Ondra, yeah, he is my idol.
Like in my mind, I felt like I still get it, you know, I still am competitive with the other guys in bouldering. But at the same time, you know, the first bowl round showed me like, I'm just too old for it. It's not for me anymore. And just continuing doing the World Cups in Boulder is just too dangerous for me in terms of injuries. And yeah, right now it feels really good that I'll have some months of recovery of my shoulder on the rock. But yeah, again, this was pretty memorable day, and thanks for the audience for coming, and it was one of the best days of my competition career, I think.